Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Barakah Kodash Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya with another video, and I'm going to start it off in Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. One woe or destruction is past, referring to World War I. And behold, there come two woes more hereafter, World War II, which is past, and this upcoming third woe, World War III, which will be nuclear. And the two main combatants in this upcoming nuclear-armed third woe is going to be the United States of America, which in the scriptures is known as Babylon the Great, as well as spiritual Assyria and spiritual Sodom and Egypt, as pursuant to Revelation 11, verse 8, and Russia, which in the scriptures is known as the North Country in Jeremiah 50, verse 9, Gog in Ezekiel chapter 38, and the spiritual Medes. And while both nations are going to shoot nuclear missiles at each other, Russia's going to make it through it. But as for the United States of America, it's going to get hit with 200 million nuclear missiles that's going to turn it into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea, and then a desolate, uninhabitable wasteland afterwards. And in this video, I'll be profiling an article from thesun.com just to give an update on this third woe, which is coming quickly if you have that spiritual eye salve to see that these end times prophecies leading up to it are in the process of coming to their fulfillment. And after the mark of the beast, which is the microchip implant, is mandatorily implemented shortly thereafter, that's when these nuclear missiles are going to start flying to the ends of the earth. But the title of the article is Unstoppable: Putin's Hypersonic Missiles Ready for Mass Production After Every Nuke Capable of Wiping Out U.S. City Hits Bullseye. And look at the time right there, 441, 144. Vladimir Putin's hypersonic missiles are ready for mass production after every nuke capable of wiping out a U.S. city hit bullseye during war games testing. The weapon, capable of flying at 6,100 miles per hour, has now been fired a total of 4 times from the Admiral Gorshkov frigate in the Arctic. And these missiles being tested in the Arctic just goes to show why Russia is known as the North Country in Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, the United States of America, an assembly of great nations from the North Country. Because what's north of the United States of America, past the Arctic Ocean region? Russia. And Russia shooting its nuclear missiles over the Arctic to hit its targets in the United States of America would be the shortest trajectory time for its nuclear missiles to hit the U.S. And that assembly of great nations not only includes the allies of Russia like China, Iran, and North Korea, but also the allies of the United States of America like Britain, France, Germany, South Korea, these other NATO nations, etc., that are going to turn against the United States of America in that day and ally themselves with that North Country, Russia, to altogether shoot those 200 million nuclear missiles onto this place. Just go to Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns that thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The beast being NATO, the 10 horns being the EU, and the whore riding upon the beast being the United States of America. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And those arrows are symbolic for those nuclear missiles, because what you have to remember is that when the prophets saw these visions thousands of years ago, they didn't know what a modern day nuclear tipped ICBM was. You're not going to see them talking about the Zircon missile or the Satan II in the scriptures. So they described it the best way they could with what they knew during their times. Ancient weapons of war, bows and arrows, spears, javelins, flying swords, etc., etc. Moscow confirmed it has now completed initial tests of the Russian president's deadly new Zircon hypersonic missile, and it will go into service next year, according to reports. A British RC-135W spy aircraft was circling the skies where the Gorshkov this week sailed off the Kola Peninsula, reported the Barents Observer. It was the second time in a week that a British reconnaissance plane had buzzed an area of the Barents Sea to snoop on Russia, conducted missile tests, said the report. The Gorshkov had been expected to fire the Zircon this week, but the Defense Ministry only specifically confirmed supersonic Onyx missile launches from the frigate. The missiles are said to have hit a target off Novaya Zemlya, where a large area of water was declared forbidden to navigate for all vessels on both the Barents Sea and the Kara Sea sides of the Arctic archipelago. Despite this, a military source told Russian state news agency TASS flight trials of the Zircon from the Admiral Gorshkov have been completed successfully. A total of 4 launches have been made. All missiles hit the bullseye. Trials of the Zircon missile are planned to be finished in 2021, while serial production of the new weapon is expected to commence in 2022, reported TASS. Tests of the Mach 8 missile from a submarine are due soon. Putin has previously described the Zircon as truly unparalleled in the world. The first Zircon test launch of the missile from the Gorshkov was staged in early October and seen as a 68th birthday present for Putin. More test launches followed in November and December. A radiation leak during a military accident which killed 2 and wounded 6 in 2019 was seen as involving a testing on the missile. Radiation levels temporarily soared 20 times above the normal level in Severodvinsk, a city lying some 18 miles from the weapons testing site at Nyanovska, according to Greenpeace, citing the Russian Emergency Ministry. It comes as Putin tightens his grip on the Arctic to gain control of territory across 11 time zones. A subdivision of Sukhoi Su-34 bombers is to be transferred to the Northern Fleet in the near future for a first ever Arctic deployment. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's pivoting that North country or Russia in that Arctic ocean region to get them geared up to shoot those nuclear missiles onto Babylon the Great, the United States of America, during this upcoming third woe. And the newest Su-35s are to imminently undergo combat training in the most extreme conditions. A video presented by Vladimir Putin shows how the Zircon missile evades NATO's line of defense. And hey, when those nuclear missiles are fired, they're going to hit their targets without a hitch, because the spirit of the Most High and the angels are going to be on those missiles so that they can reach their target without any problems. Back in Jeremiah 50 verse 9, their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And when you go to Joel chapter 2, it describes the nuclear missiles as mighty men that are going to reach their targets without any problems. This is Joel chapter 2. I'm going to read verse 7 to 8. They shall run like mighty men, referring to the nuclear missiles. They shall climb the wall like men of war. They shall march everyone on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. Because again, the spirit of the Most High is going to be on those missiles to reach their targets without any problems. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. And that sword is symbolic for these anti-missile defense systems, which are going to fail in that day, because the spirit on the Most High is also going to be on them to fail, so those mighty men can reach their targets. But now I'm going to close it out. In Isaiah chapter 13, I'm going to read verse 17 to 20. Behold, I will stir up the Medes, the spiritual Medes, the North country, Gog, Russia, against them, Babylon the Great, the United States of America, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. When the time comes for the Most High to put the spirit on these different nations to push that red button and shoot their nukes, nothing will happen to stop them from doing so. No nuclear weapons bans, peace treaties, etc., etc. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces. And what do bows shoot? Arrows. And those bows are symbolic for the silos and other launch platforms that are going to shoot those nuclear-tipped arrows. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. Anybody in the United States of America that is not of the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be completely destroyed when those 200 million nuclear missiles hit this place. And Babylon, the United States of America, the virgin daughter of Babylon, Babylon the Great, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And how did the Most High overthrow ancient Sodom and Gomorrah? With fire and brimstone from the sky. And like I've been saying throughout the video, besides being known as Babylon the Great, the United States of America is also known as spiritual Sodom and Egypt, as pursuant to Revelation 11 verse 8. So he's going to overthrow this modern day Sodom and Gomorrah with modern fire and brimstone from the sky. Those 200 million nuclear tipped ICBMs. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. After those 200 million nuclear missiles hit the United States of America, it's going to be turned into the biblical lake of fire from sea to shining sea, and then that desolate, uninhabitable wasteland afterwards where no human will ever set their foot on ever again. And it's going to stand as a memorial as to what a wicked kingdom looks like and how not to govern the earth, and what the judgment is for afflicting the apple of the Most High's eye, the true children of Israel, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And we also know that this isn't talking about ancient Babylon, because you can go there today, which is in Iraq, and see plenty of people still walking around living their daily lives. So that's it with this video. And with this video, I hope you sincere Akim are edified. Just keep strong and keep pushing this word. We're almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.